So this is the topic. Let us just quickly go through right from the beginning. Okay. So from this particular point, you will be asked to you might be asked with like what is Python programming or explain about Python programming. So the important point which you should add is what who has developed Python. Okay, so Guido van Rossum in February 1991. This one you have to mention. This should be your important point. And then this is actually the programming language which is emerged from ABC language. Okay, and
Okay.
which was created for the basic language. Okay, beginners all purpose symbolic instruction code language. So this is what you have to tell. And then you can also add about like Python is a very easy program, which is because it does not have very complex level of coding. All these
Okay.
things you can add it. Okay,
Yeah.
and then coming to the next point, like what are the Python advantages? Okay, so it is easy to use, like because the though it is an object oriented programming language, it is easy to write and develop because you know you don't want to specify what is the data type.
Okay.
Okay, and it's an expressive language, like you can simply do multiple initialization. So we have
Okay.
discussed right here. You can see a comma b comma is equal to 2 comma 3. You can mention like this because it won't it won't say it's wrong. Okay, because this is
Yeah.
not allowed in any other programming language.
Okay.
And then it is an interpreted language. Like Python has its own interpreter. It will execute line by line. It will check for each line, and then if that line is good, if that line is error free, then only it will go to the next line.
Okay.
Okay, and its completeness. As you know, like Python has all the libraries which are required for your development, even for website building, or if you want to go with data analytics, or if you want to build a machine learning. So whatever it may be, you know, Python has everything. So that is what it is.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the basics of Python, and it's a free and open source. You can download it, you can use it. You don't want to pay for this. Okay, it's free to use and free to develop.
Okay.
Okay, so Python has some minuses as well. So as it's they have also mentioned about the challenges in Python. It is like not the fastest language compared with, because it is having its own Python interpreter. So it's not a fully compiled language. It is not faster and interpreter. Okay, it's not faster and because you know, like in everything will be converted into bytecode and it will be sending back your original code to you, like your Python code to you. And compared to C, Java, and Perl, Python has a lesser library. But in C, I will not directly 100% support this particular point. Lesser libraries, okay, because Python has a lot of libraries. According to my understanding, Python has a lot of libraries and easy to create it than Java and Perl.
Okay.
Okay, but here, according to the author, they have mentioned it's a lesser library. Okay, it's not strong and type binding. Okay, it's like
Okay.
why this type binding? Because you know, like even in Python, a single capital letter differs. You know, if you start with capital P for print, it is a variable, and a small p it is a keyword.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what they are mentioning here, and not easily convertible. Like you cannot convert your Python into any other traditional programming language. Okay, like
Okay.
from one language to another language. Though it is a open source, but you don't have that much capability to convert it. Okay, and this is how the interpreter and everything works. Okay, I talked about a compiler and interpreter, right? Like when you type something source program, imagine that source here is you are typing your source program. Okay,
Okay.
once you're executing it, there will be a compiler. Okay, there will be
Okay.
compiler in it. This is not exactly Python. Okay, so this is a normal traditional code. So there will be a compiler which will convert your English into the machine language.
Okay.
Okay, and then it will convert back into the targeted language, and then you will get the input and output. Whereas in interpreter, your Python interpreter, you will be sending the source code, your input, where it will be interpreted into the machine language, and then you will get the output.
Okay.
Okay. So next comes your working with Python. So we have discussed about all these things. What is this default installation? We have discussed how to get the default installation from idle. We have installed it, right? Like how to install the default IDLE interpreter. You can type it either in the command line, or you can open the script language and type it. Okay, this is the
Yeah.
one way, Python shell.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other way of doing it is what they have also. Okay, this is a scripting way of writing the Python, and this is the traditional way, like
Okay.
shell, writing in the shell. Okay, if you want me to stop anywhere, please stop it. Don't worry to stop me, since we have already discussed it. So I'm just little going fast.
Okay.
Okay, and next comes your Anaconda. So what is this Anaconda? Anaconda is your IDE. Okay, this we haven't discussed because Anaconda is an integrated development environment specifically for executing your Python, like how how we discussed about Colab, Google
Yeah.
Colab, right? But in Anaconda, you have various other products as well. Like you can even use our different programming languages. You can use it.
Okay.
So this is also a software. Sorry, this is also a cloud. You have to download, you have to bring in Anaconda and install it, or else you can use it in the online. I'm not sure whether online they have enabled it. 1 minute.
Okay.
Okay, so here you can see this is online version of Anaconda. Okay, so if you are installing, it will take a lot of time. So that is why I'm just showing online version. So here you can see you have Jupyter, right? So in Jupyter, we will be writing all the codes like Python. Okay, so you have PyScript. PyScript is also another ID, means another version of another tool for executing Python. Okay, so
Okay.
this is a dashboard. So if you just click create, it will ask you new notebook. So you can create a new notebook, and as usual, you can use Python, writing the same thing. Like the Python code is same for everything. Okay, same for all the IDE or whatever it may be, or whatever the console may be. Only the thing is the environment differs. This is your IDE, one of the IDE for that. Okay, and Colab is another IDE. Okay, it is launching. Let it launch. Meanwhile, we will just see the next one. Like okay, this is Anaconda. Okay, this is what we have discussed. You can just click the notebook to open it. It's a IDE. IDE means integrated development environment.
Okay.
Okay, so here you can just simply open the notebook and try. So let it open. I'll just show you. Okay,
Okay.
even for there you have all the scripting and everything. Okay, I think it launched. No, it's still launching. Okay, like this, you have lot of IDs. Okay, like Spider. Spider is another IDE for Python. Okay,
Okay.
so mostly like it differs. Like who is using it? Okay, so Spider ID is mostly used by the data analyst or the machine learning experts. You can see how it is showing the visuals very effectively.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jupyter Lab will be useful for those who are working in a team of people will be there, no? Like mm,
Oh, it's like a collaboration where you can share
yeah,
the
if you want to
data.
collaborate, you can share it with others. Okay, the same thing. Print 5 plus 6. The code is same. Okay, so nothing changes, but only the thing is like how you are executing is differs,
Okay.
and who is using it will differ.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Spider. Spider ID is also there. So everywhere, like according to the usage they'll be using it. Okay, so you can see it's advanced editing, debugging, introspection features. Data camp community, data camp is a community where you can see they'll be using everything with the python and all these things. They'll be recommending spider.
Okay.
Okay, so if you know how to write python code, other than that, no worries about anything. You can easily work with any of the IDs.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see here, this is how they are showing you how to execute the code and everything. And this is PyScriptler. Okay, PyScriptler is there. This is another set of IDE. Okay, so as I told you, like IDE is an integrated development environment where everything, like you can try with multiple languages. It's not only meant for Python. You can also try with multiple languages.
Okay.
Okay, in school, whether they have showed you like how to use the spider and everything.
No, they have not. They have just like my teachers just like mentioned about Jupyter Notebook and Anaconda and everything, but other than that, we have not very like gone into
Okay.
detail with it.
Okay, then no problem. You just need to know because even because we are learning this, right? You should know what are the various IDEs you have. So Spider, we have to install it. Okay, it is not available on like a cloud. So if we install and try, it will take another time. We will just revise all the topic, and if time permits, we will try to download and see.
Okay. And also,
Okay,
in my PC, I've downloaded the Visual Studio and then the
Visual Studio
Python.
Code.
Yeah,
Okay,
that one. And also, I've downloaded the newest version of the Python
very good. Okay,
in the what's that thing? Idle Python idle.
very good, very good. You can try. Okay, just whenever you get time, open that and try all these things.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so here you can see the next one. The very first function which everyone will learn is what print. Okay,
Okay.
print function which will print hello world. Like this is the first program in any programming language. We'll be printing hello world. Okay, and the
Okay.
print function, whatever you type inside print, if you are typing it within the double quotes, it will exactly print it. Okay, exactly print the same. And if you are not using the double quotes, if you are using some expressions, that will be evaluated and printed. Okay, so here your Python will also work as a calculator. Like if you just go ahead and type 6 multiplied by 3, it will tell you what is the output of that. Okay, that is what they are mentioning about it. And we have also discussed about the script mode. Okay, I hope you remember. We have
Yeah.
opened idle and open a new file, executed entered nearly 5 to 6 line of coding and executed it in the Python as a shell mode. So if you wanted to execute more than one line, you have to go with the Python script editor. Okay. Okay. I think with this, your first chapter is getting over.
Yeah.
So I'll just tell you what are the important questions you should be ready with for the first chapter.
Okay.
Shall I type it or what? Shall I show?
Uh, you can just say it. I'll note it down in my notebook.
Okay, I will also type it here. 1 minute. Hmm, it's purely Python, right? So you should be aware of what is IDLE. Okay, IDLE, Integrated Development Learning Environment.
Yeah.
Okay, advantages of Python programming.
Oil puff.
Yeah, good. So you should write it. Okay, so
Okay.
you should know like what are the various things. If possible, try to include some images wherever it is available. For example, like when I am writing any question, when I'm answering any question during my 11th and 12th grade, I used to write it like this. Okay, so this is advantages. I will write like advantages, and then I will draw
Okay.
something like this. Okay, so what happens is what whoever is seeing your paper, they don't have exactly much time to go through all your explanations and everything. So
Okay.
instead, if you just give some overview like this, so if you just start writing object oriented, okay, like that's something interpreted, self-interpreted, something like this, they will know that yes, you know the concept. So
Okay.
they don't want to go and look into your entire code. They will directly immediately give you the what to say. They'll give you your marks. Okay, that
Okay.
is what very important.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, and then you can expect something like um, what are the can you try okay, or output for the below, output for the below expressions, okay, something like that, and they may give some expressions as an example. I'm just giving you something like this: print 12 multiply by 2. What is the output for this? You should be able to write it.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
print hello world, world comma 6 minus 2 comma welcome, like this. Okay, so what is the output? The output of this will be hello world,
Hello world.
and then 6 minus 2 will be printed continuously. Okay, 6 minus 2
Okay.
is 4, and then welcome, because they haven't left any space.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how you should be ready to the do this. Okay, so from this particular chapter, you may be getting this kind of questions, and you can just go through few questions which are given here. For example, okay, is Python as an object-oriented programming? If you have one more questions or something, you just go through all these things. Okay,
Okay.
what is the meaning of the cross-platform? Which means that you can run on varieties of platform like Windows, Linux, etc., etc. Okay,
Okay.
Python is an open source language. Wherever possible, you just include Python is an open source language. And what is it? This should be the question you may get it. What is the difference between interactive mode and the script mode?
Okay.
Okay, in interactive mode, like you will be giving the instructions where it is like a Python shell. Like every instructions will be getting in a single line. If it is
Yeah.
a string script mode, you will create it as a file and you will execute it with .py extension. That is very, very important.
Okay.
Okay, this is like difference between script mode and interactive mode. Okay, so if it is a script mode, you should specify that is the file should be saved with .py extension to execute it. And to execute, you will be pressing either F5 or Control plus F5. Anything works. Okay.
Okay.
So this you have to mention. So
Okay.
for this type of difference, what we I usually do is I will draw a table. Okay, and I will write it like, okay, this is a script and this is an interactive, sorry, this is a interactive mode, and here I will say it will get it in a CLI, that is your command line interaction, like they'll be getting it in the CLI mode. So like that you can just type it. Okay, and to in order to execute you have to simply press enter. Okay, so in if it is like a interactive mode, sorry okay, so if it is like
And I have a
in
small question. Isn't
okay,
this, yeah, exactly. The command line
yeah,
isn't
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
interaction.
It will be in the interactive mode, yes. So if you draw like this script, yes, command line will come under the interactive
Inter
mode. Okay, so CLI, so here you'll be opening a new file. Okay, and here you can press enter to execute. Okay, just if you press enter, it will execute the code and give you the answer. Here you have to save as .py and press F5 like that. Okay,
Okay.
and likewise, so it will get it in. You will be entering something in three greater than symbol. So you can just make it as a point. If it is asked in, even if it is in a 2 mark question, you can just create something like this and write it here.
Okay.
A simple suggestion. And whatever if I am telling you during your exam time, which strikes in your mind, do it. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
So suddenly implementing all these things may be a difficult task for you, but anyhow, just to keep this in mind. For any question, if possible, just draw some diagram so that it will give some overview of that. But if you're not okay, if you're not very much confident with the content, don't go with the diagram, because
Okay.
if it is wrong, but if you are creating a diagram, you know what they will feel, okay, you don't know the answer. Okay, so
Okay.
ensure that you know the answer and then do it.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so this is what. Shall we go to the next one, or you're okay?
Yeah.
Do you have any question?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay, fine. So this is Python fundamentals. Okay, so you know what is usually in any programming language, in anything, like the usual life cycle of a computer is input, process, output. Okay,
Okay.
whatever you're giving it, if we always go with an input, something will happen. It will do the process and it will give you the output. That is what IPO cycle.
Okay.
Okay, so in anywhere, even if it is like a program or stay anything, you will have this cycle. Just keep that in mind, like IPO. So what happens? This is your Python character set we have discussed. If they are asking about the Python character set, you should write letter, digit, special symbol, white space, and other characters.
Okay.
Okay, so this is very important. These are the character sets. So which means like it's a valid character which are recognized by Python. That is what the character set.
Okay.
Okay, so and here they have also discussed about the tokens. We also discussed about the tokens. So tokens are like keyword, identifier, literal operator, and punctuators.
Okay.
So keyword which has a special meaning in Python. Like whenever you, even if you are in future, if you are designing a language, okay, you will reserve something for your language.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what the keyword is, a special meaning to a language or the compiler interpreter. It should know that okay, you're trying this. Okay, you can think about something like a grammar in any language. If you say English, you have a grammar and specific things. No, likewise, keyword is a special meaning to the language compiler or interpreter.
Okay.
Okay, they forms the special purpose in your language, so you should not use it as a variable or a identifier.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the keywords. You can see some, you just understand some basic 5 to 7 keywords. Okay,
Okay.
print is also a keyword. Okay, but I think they are keeping it as a function.
Okay. Got it.
So you can keep anything here like a for, while, if, else if, elif, break, class. Okay, some 5 keywords, 5 to 7 keywords, you just keep it in mind and write it as an example.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, and then next comes the identifiers, which we also call it as a variable. Okay, variable or identifiers are same, which is a building block. Variable is a building block of any programming language. Okay, and here they are making it as a variable, object, classes, functions, list, dictionaries. All these are identifiers, which is an identifier in the coding. Okay, in your programming language. So you can see here an identifier is arbitrarily long sequence of letters and digits. The first character should be okay. If you're getting some question about identifier, ensure that you have to write about the rules to define the identifier. Like it
Okay.
should start, it should only have some special characters like underscore. No spaces are allowed.
Okay.
Okay, and you can see it should start with a special character, that is underscore or a alphabet.
Okay.
You can use 0 to 9 but not as a first character. First character should not be 0 to 9.
Okay.
Okay, so these things you should keep in mind and you should write it.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, and next comes your you should also write what are the wrong examples for identifiers. You can just write 1 or 2 example.
Okay. Got it.
And then literals, like literals are the data item which has the fixed value. It is a
Okay.
fixed one. So string literals, write a b c. Even you can include a number, but it should be inside the double quote. So whatever which comes inside the double quotes is a string.
Okay.
Okay, whatever you're declaring inside the double quote is a string.
Okay. Got it.
Keep that in mind. Okay, so it's a string, and literals, like a string literal, numeric literal, boolean, special literals, literal collections. You have all these things here. So string literal which are enclosed within the double quotes, we call it as a string literal.
Okay.
So next comes your Python also. We also discussed about the escape sequence, right? Sometimes if you want to bring in a backslash or a single quote or a double quote or a ASCII bell sound or an ASCII backspace, you can just go ahead with the backspace. Okay, and then I think this is not included there. Single line strings and multi-line strings. Yeah, we have discussed, right? In a single quote, we'll be using it with the
Yeah.
single quotes where we can type the single line string and multi-line string. Okay, so multi-line string, we'll be using a single quotes. Okay, so these two things they have mentioned, and we also discussed with an example. Okay, so these are okay. Okay, so these things are strings. And yeah, I think this one, length, len, they have used a function called len. I think we haven't discussed about the len, right?
Yeah. I don't think we have.
Len. Okay, len is used to find the length of the variable. Okay, so length of any variable. For example, if okay, I'm pressing like something, okay, welcome is my variable. And if I'm typing hello, welcome, okay, and then if I'm printing len of welcome, okay, so what it will do is it will display the length of the length of this.
Okay.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. It will also count your space.
Okay.
Space will also be counted. Okay, so that is the length. If you want to find the length of anything, so you have to go ahead with the len function. Okay, and next comes your numeric literals. Okay, numeric literals in the sense numbers. If it is a string int, if it is a float value, or if it is a complex number, like it involves a complex values, then they are called as a string literals. Okay. So
Okay.
anything like an integer literal consists of sequence of digits. It may be from 0 to 9, but it should have a sequence of digits with plus or minus. But it
Okay.
should not have like decimal literals are like you can also have the decimal points.
Okay.
Okay, hexadecimal. Okay, so it has like the size of everything differs. Like you can see if it is a hexadecimal, you can. I hope you know what is this hexadecimal values, and you heard about the hex codes?
Yeah, I've heard about hex codes.
Yeah, very good. So it is a combination of 0 to 9 and A to F. Okay, you can see something, but here they have also included Z. That is what I'm just wondering. Because here you can see, letters other than A to F.
Yeah.
Okay, other than A to S, F is in, okay, they are showing the invalid examples, I think. Okay. So 0 to 9, A to F. So it may be something like you can include, um, and it should be 6 characters, like 6 or below. Okay, so if you just type like like this, it is also a hexadecimal value.
Okay.
Okay, this is a hexadecimal value because it has 0 to 9 and A to F.
Okay.
Okay, so this is about the string literal and the real literal. Again, like you should have some image like a real values here, like exponential, functional part or something. If it has, it is a real literals. Okay, am I missing something?
No, no.
Okay, and then Boolean literals, it will be like true or false. Okay, either true
Okay.
or false. T should be capital and F should be capital in false.
Okay.
And then special literal, we discussed about none. Okay,
Yeah.
none which holds a special value. Like if someone is not entering any value, it should not make it as a blank, so it will be converted into a none.
Okay.
Okay, so these are the tokens. This is like how you can create a token statement type. Okay, how you can write it. So they are asking you to start trying this. I hope you have tried it previously. Have you tried
Though,
how to create a literals and everything?
yeah, I've done it in class.
Okay, very good. So next comes operator. I think we didn't discussed about the operators.
Yeah.
Okay, operators are like if you wanted to do some operations. For example, if you want to do some multiplication operation or addition or some relational, like if you wanted to find what is the logical relations or something, you will be going with an operators. Okay, so operators plays a very important role in your any coding language. Okay, so if you take, for example, if you are bringing operator like this, okay, they are asking about the unary operator as well. Okay, I'll just discuss about the unary operator. So here, if you take something like this, all these plus, plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulus, and these comes under your arithmetic operator.
Okay.
Okay, you have arithmetic operators. Then 1 minute. I also have so I have the list of operators here. 1 minute. Okay, so you have arithmetic operator which deals with all these what to say, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and everything. Next comes your relational operator. So what do you mean by the relational operator, and when we'll be using the relation operator is what, when if you wanted to compare the value, if you want to find the relationship or compare the values between two, you will be using the relationship operator. Okay, for example, if I wanted to, I'll just close all these things and okay. If you wanted to compare, for example, if I wanted to compare whether 5 is double equal to 5, whether this both are equal or not. Okay, so this will give you the true or false value. If I'm typing here 15, it will show you false because we are comparing two values here. Okay.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so this is the comparison operator. And next comes your logical operator. So what, any idea, like comparison doesn't only have your equal to, okay, even it will also compare your not equal to. If you want to go with, if you want to find whether it is not equal to this, okay, you will be
Okay.
using the exclamatory symbol. So it will tell you, yes, it's true. It's not equal to 515 is not equal to 5.
Okay.
Okay. And then even if you want to find the greater than, whether 515 is greater than 5. True. Greater than or equal to 5, less than 5. So these are all relational operator which will always give you the boolean as an output.
Okay.
Okay, so these comes under the relational operator.
Okay.
And next comes the logical operator. Logical operator in the sense that day we discussed, right? And or not is a logical operator. So what is this logical operator? It will check the condition of two, that like you will always have some relation between it, you will check the relationship between two conditions. For example, if I want to check if a is equal to age is equal to 18 and um result is equal to pass. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do is what, if the age is equal to 18 and if he has passed the driving test, then you can give him driving license.
Yeah.
Okay, so where does this and, this is the logical operator, this logical operator comes between two different relational operations.
Yeah.
You can say there is a relation operator, some condition should be there, there comes your logical operator.
Okay.
Okay, and then okay, let me just go through this what they have. You have, okay, they are also talking about the unary operator. Okay, so first of all,
Okay.
before understanding what is a unary operator, let us understand binary operator. So far we are doing this, right? So if it is print a 25 plus 68, this plus is a binary operator. Why? Because this one, like before this plus, we call it as an operand. Okay, 56 is an
Okay.
operand, 68 is an operand.
Okay.
So an operator which deals with two operand, we call it as a binary operator. Two means by, right? Which
Yeah.
always calls it a binary operator. So if any operand which is dealing with only one operator, we call it as a unary operator.
Okay.
Okay, the unary operator means an operator that operate only one operand directly modifying or returning a result. That is what we call it as a unary operator. Let me just give you an example. So for example, if I'm just giving x is equal to 5, okay, and I'm typing y is equal to plus x, sorry, plus x. Okay, now x holds this. If I'm printing, okay, it will give you the answer 5 only. Okay, plus print x, it will give you 5. Okay, this is the unary operator. So we have did something like plus x. Okay, plus x means it is a unary operator. It is happening. This is, we haven't, this particular operator doesn't have two operand. It is only dealing with only one operand.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what, like, where it will be useful if you wanted to add one minus and one plus, then you will be using this unary operator. For example, if I wanted to add for x is equal to minus 5 and y is equal to 15, and here if you wanted to add um, minus y plus x, something like this. Okay, so you will be using the unary operator. Okay, minus 20. Can you see, like, can you understand what I'm doing is here I'm using a unary operator, a single operand.
Okay.
Okay, so this
Okay.
is
Yeah.
what, yeah, tell me, I think you have some doubt.
No, I'm just trying to and I was trying to understand because wait, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. I got it.
Okay, so here we'll be using a unary operator. So when will you actually use the unary operator is the real code, not in a simple context you cannot understand. Okay,
Okay.
if you want to go ahead and deal with a complex math formula, you wanted to keep explicitly like this is a positive and this is in minus sign, then you will be adding like this. Okay.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do some negating the numbers, like if you want to switch the directions in the physics or game development or something, financial applications, if you want to show the minus or something, like that is where
Okay.
we'll be using the unary operator.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so here you can see you have unary operator, that is what mentioned first time, that is a plus minus bitwise complement, that is it will be like a tilting symbol and not. In logical operator we discussed and or, right? Not comes under the unary operator because not will not deal with two condition, it will only deal with one condition.
Okay.
So here it's a binary operator. We discussed about the arithmetic and bitwise and. Okay, this is only one and. If you want to use one and, you will be using this or not.
Okay.
Okay, shifting operators, identity operator. Okay, is and is not. Okay, fine. And this is a relational operator, assignment operator, logical operator, membership operator. So these much operators you have. Assignment operators in the sense if you want to assign something, like where we are assigning, see here you can see we are assigning minus 5 to x.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the assignment. If it is a single equal to, it is an assignment operator. If it is double equal to, you are finding the relationship between two things.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be learning about all these operators in the future probably. Okay, so we will just try to continue with this, like logical and membership operator in and not in, we'll be using it in the list. While using list, we will, if you want to check whether that particular element is in the list or not. Okay, so in and not in, we'll be using it.
Okay.
And we have punctuators, like you'll be using a single quote, double quote, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, curly braces, at the rate symbol. All these are called as the punctuators. Okay. So what is this? These are all the symbols which we'll be using it in the programming language. In any programming language, you can see this punctuator, which is really to organize your programming sentence and structure. For example, here you can see you have this punctuator, this open parenthesis to organize and say that this is a function.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what punctuator. Even if you are printing some a string, So double quotes is a punctuator which is used to say that all these things which comes under the string.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, yeah. So these are all the punctuators. And next comes your Python, bare bones of Python. You can see the comments. Okay, comments are always important if you want to say something like this is what I'm trying to create it here. So you can do the comments with the hash symbol. So this is a usual practice of any programmer. If they are typing something, if they are creating a program, they will always add a comment there
Okay. Yeah.
saying that hey, I'm doing this is a addition, I'm just trying to add two values or something. So they will be doing this. That is what is a it's a it's a comment. Okay, so it is advisable to go with the comment.
Okay.
Okay, and I just wanted to introduce to a concept called functions because here they have added some function here. Okay, so you can define a function. Okay, when should I define a function and why it is really required? So if you are planning to reuse the code often in your program, you will be going with the function.
Okay.
Okay, for example, if you are right, usually we will write the business logic in the function. Okay, what is that
Okay.
business logic? If you have 50 students in the classroom and you wanted to calculate for every student, you wanted to calculate what? You wanted to calculate their five subject marks and do the average.
Okay.
Okay, so what we will do is we will write the logic in the function, and whenever we wanted to use it, we'll be calling it.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, for example, I'm just showing you a simple code here instead of going with multiple five subject marks. Okay, always a function starts with def. Okay, def, which means if your Python will understand like you are defining your own function, user defined function.
Okay.
So I'm typing something add a comma b. Okay, so here add is my function name. A comma b is the parameter which I wanted to pass it inside.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to add two numbers. So what I will do is I'm adding a comment that adding two numbers using function. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just creating this, and always when you are declaring a function, you should end with a colon, telling that whatever I'm typing inside, it is related to that particular function.
Okay.
Okay, I'm just typing a plus b, and I'm returning the value a plus b. Okay, returning the result. Okay, this is a simple function which I have defined, def, and this is a function. You can write anything. You can use even your own name, my own name, whatever it is, but
Okay.
it should be properly named and meaningful name. I am going to add it, so I am giving add.
Okay.
Okay, and inside that I'm going to add these two variable. Whatever the variable which are passed inside, I'll be adding it.
Okay.
Okay, and after adding it, if you do print, it will be inside the function. Okay, that is why I'm using the keyword called return. Return, what it will do is it will return the result back to the place where the function is being called.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Okay, this is, we call it as the function definition. We are defining the function here.
Okay.
Okay, now let us, we are one if you just define the function, it won't be invoked. Okay, so just imagine you have yearly we are celebrating Diwali or Pongal or something. It's a function that is really considered to be celebrated when you are really celebrating it, right? Like this
Yeah.
day I am celebrating Diwali. So only if you celebrate it, it's a celebration. Likewise, only if you call this, this will be invoked. This particular function will be invoked.
Okay.
Okay, so how can I call it? I will be just calling it, I can call it in any way. So what I'll be calling it is what? I'll be calling it through this function name. For example, some result is equal to, and I am using the same function name and passing two parameters. See, it is saying A and B and it is any. Can you see here?
Yeah.
Okay, why it is A and B? See, I am just using the function name which I have declared, and inside that I have to pass two parameters. So I am just passing two parameter into it.
Okay.
Okay, so if I am just trying to add one more parameter, it will throw me error. It won't work.
Okay.
Okay, either it will throw error, or else it will consider only first two parameter.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so now I'll be printing the sum result. Okay, let us just try. It will throw error. Okay, type error, because what error it is showing in the cell, it is not valid. Takes two positional argument, but three were given. Okay, because
Okay.
we tried to give three, but we have declared here only two.
Okay.
Delete
But
it
if
and
we give three
oh,
and then only add give two, is that okay?
let's try. Yes, hopefully it should be.
Okay.
Okay, then we have to declare it in a different way. Actually, it is possible, but we have to make it as this is optional. Okay, you can see that the print function has multiple parameters to be passed, but even if we just give only one thing, it will accept it, because while declaring, we have to tell that, okay, even if the second or third variable is not given, consider it as a optional one.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that is a advanced one. Okay, we will discuss
Okay.
that. So here you can see that this is a function definition and this is a function call.
Okay.
Okay, so this function I will be creating it only once, and whenever I'm calling it for any student, this function will be invoked. Okay, so instead of writing this three lines for every student, I will just use this only one line. Like again, I will go with sum 1 is equal to add of 1526 comma some number. I'm just giving some number. And if I just simply say sum 1, you can see you will be getting two values.
Yeah.
Okay, I have declared this only once, but whenever I want, I can call it. So this is what the exact highlight of a function. So a function once declared can be called from anywhere if it is a public function. So there are scope of the functions are there. We will discuss that. Okay, when it is when it is added to your. So
Okay.
um you can write multiple things. Even here you can write multiple statements for the function. Okay, after finding this, you have to print, you have to do the average. If you wanted to find the average of this result divided by 2, and then you wanted to return the result and average. Okay, so anything
Okay.
if you want to return both the things, you can just go ahead with that. So all these things are possible with the function. So it's a if you wanted to go ahead with the reusability of the code, that is the important thing in the function.
Okay.
Reusability. Okay, that is what they have given here. Def is to define a function, and this is without any parameter. They have added something and print goodbye something. So this is a
Okay.
comment, and each and everything, if you each and every line are considered to be a statement in the print in the Python.
Okay.
Okay, every line. So here you can see that this is this is a statement. Okay, this one line is a statement. This is a statement. This is a statement. So each and every line are a statement, and this specifically called as an expression because you are trying to do some calculation in that.
Okay.
Okay, they call it as a statement. So that is what they have mentioned here, and expression. And you can see something like indentation last session we discussed, right? So
Yeah.
whenever it feels like some block is there, you can see the def is actually started in some position, and result whatever comes under the same function will have some space between that. If you are not giving the space, it will throw an error. See, it is showing a red color underline, right?
Yeah.
Why? Because it follows some indentation, that because when you are ending with a colon, it will expect for the continuity or some statements which are relevant to this particular function.
Okay.
So this is what indentation we call.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, so there is a in Python. How the Python is actually made is of all these things: expression, comment, blocks and indentation, statement, and function. It's not
Okay.
mandatory that every Python program should have all these things, but it will have any one or all of this.
Okay. Good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that is what they have explained clearly, like what is an expression, what is a statement, what is a function, and everything. I think we have discussed what is a function, what is indentation. Okay, all these things we have discussed. And they have also talking about the Python styled rules and conversions. Okay, statement terminations. It should have a proper statement. Maximum line length should not be more than 79 characters. This is important. One
Okay.
line should not be more than 79 characters. You should have a line indentation properly. Indent should be proper. Okay, blank lines. Whenever you are
Okay.
declaring a variable, you should not have a blank line. And
Okay.
so they have given some common Python rules and conventions. So just go through this, okay? Just an understanding. So you may get some if you have a multiple choice question or something, you may get it something from here.
Okay.
Okay, white space, space, backspace, and everything.
Okay.
Okay, next comes variable and assignment. We have discussed what is a variable which holds the data, which has some named location for your value. It was the variable. So how will you create a variables? It's very simple. You don't want to tell what is the type of the data. You can simply write like x is equal to 70. So automatically 70 will be placed in x.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are mentioning with some double quotes, it will be a string. Okay, it will
Okay.
understand that it is a string. You don't want to specify that this is the data type which I have.
Okay.
Okay, this is simply like we have discussed that with the example as well. Okay, how we it is actually loaded, located, and what is an object ID. Okay, everything we have discussed.
Okay.
And then whenever you are writing about the expression or a variable, you should talk about the L value and R value. That is left value and the right value between is equal to.
Okay.
Okay, between is equal to whatever you are assigning. Whenever you are using is equal to symbol, before that you should have a variable to hold, and after that you should have a value to assign.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so what I'm talking here about is what? See, if I'm writing, creating something here, sum is equal to. So I should, in before that is equal to, it will consider that you are trying to declare a variable.
Yeah.
Okay, and after that it will try to understand that you are passing some value or you are using some function. Okay, so that is what L value and R value. Don't forget to talk about these values here. And then multiple assignment. Okay, so if they are asking about what is a variable, you have to write what is L value and what is variable, what is L value and R value, and what is a multiple assignments which is supported by Python, like a comma b comma c is equal to 10 comma 20 comma 30. That is also possible. If you wanted to assign the same value to multiple variable, then a is equal to b is equal to c is equal to 10. Like that you can do it. Okay, clear? Any doubt?
No, I didn't have any.
Okay. If I'm going fast, just stop me because we are just revising it. So that is why I'm just going little fast.
Okay.
Okay, so this is a statement one, how everything is possible with the multiple assignment. And variable definition, how you can define a variable like x. X is what? What is a variable definition? Like is x is equal to 20, which means you are defining x as a variable to hold the value 20.
Okay.
Okay, variable will not be created until you assign a value to it. So for example, if I am simply assigning a value here, okay, just if I'm just telling print x, okay, let us try to visualize this. Print x means what it is happening. Nothing will happen because you haven't assigned anything. You haven't defined the value to the variable.
Okay. I thought it will
Okay.
like print X in the second line. Okay.
Sorry.
Like when we're using only, uh oh, okay. I got confused when we, put it in within the string, the
Double
quotes.
quotes. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you are using a double quote, it is considered to be a string. It will print x.
Okay.
Okay, but if you're not using a double quote, it will feel like it is a variable.
Oh, okay.
And
Got
there
it.
is nothing in the variable, right? So it won't print anything. So if you wanted to print this value, or if you wanted to say something, welcome, something, so you have to say, you have to assign that. Then only it will assume that as a variable.
Okay.
Okay. So a variable, you have to define it. You have to tell, okay, this is what I have assigned.
Got it.
Good. So, okay, variables are created even if it is zero, even if it is like a dynamic typing, I told you, right? If you are using 10, it is considered to be a integer. If you are typing, if you are assigning hello world, it is a string. So, Python is a dynamically typed language. You don't want to specify that, hey, this is my integer, this is my float. You don't want to say this.
Okay.
Okay. So, this is what, and next thing is, okay, we discussed about the type, right? What type of variable it is, whether it is an integer or it is a float. You have to use type. Type is a function.
Okay.
Okay, and if you want to get the input from the user, you have to use the function called input. Input
Okay.
is a function which is used to get the value from the user.
Got it.
Okay, and then reading a numbers. Okay, int, we'll be using reading numbers using in the int. Okay, if you are using simply input, okay, it will consider that as a string. If you wanted to get the input as a number, you have to use int. Okay,
Yeah.
I hope you remember, right? I am. Did you remember?
Yeah, I remember.
Okay, so int means it will convert it as an integer and then it will get the value. If you are not using int, it is like a type conversion. If you are not using int, it will consider that as a string.
Okay.
Okay, so if you are dealing with a number, you should always remember that if you wanted to get the input from the user, you have to make it as an int or float or something. Float means it's a decimal value. If you want to get the decimal value, go as a float.
Okay.
Okay, so next comes your features of the print statement. We discussed about the print as well. Okay, print should be like if you want to display something on the screen, you should use the print statement.
Got it.
Okay, and then what else? We are missing program to obtain three numbers and print their sum. Okay, body mass index. So you have to try all these things. Okay, you have to try this. I
Yeah.
think we are towards the end of this, right?
Yeah, I
Okay,
think
so
it's
yes, I think until this you have the exam.
yeah, until yeah, only those two
Okay,
chapters.
so I'll tell you a few important questions from the second chapter as well.
Okay.
Can you tell me what is your pattern, your question pattern?
Actually, since it's just like, for 25 marks, my teacher hasn't let out the blueprint, but she
Okay.
said that, that will only be like 6 to 7 marks for theory, and the rest is just programs.
Okay, programs. Okay, don't worry of the programs. I'll just give you some theory question as well, and the program you can try out and see because we
Okay.
will. I'll also look into the programs which are often asked in the NCRT. Okay, NCRT are the
Okay.
CBSE syllabuses, CBSE exam. You just try to do that as well. Okay,
Okay.
so you have to be very clear about what are the tokens in Python? Okay, please
Okay.
go through the tokens in Python. This will be the important question. Tokens in Python. So whenever it is asked, whatever the question which is asked, just first give the explanation for that. Okay, define it. If it is a variable, define the variable. What is a variable? If it is
Okay.
token, tell what is a token.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so always give the definition, define it, and then if you have multiple thing, like for example, if it is a token, you have to write what you have to write. It is a you have token. Okay, then give some something like this. Okay,
Yeah.
whatever the however you want to draw, you can just draw it and write like keywords. Keyword is one of the token. Okay,
Okay.
you can write like this will definitely help you and also it will help you to remember identifier. Okay, and then you can write like a literal. I think then we have operator. If I'm missing something, just let me know. Okay. operator and punctuators. I think not more than this, only
Identifier.
five.
Yeah.
Identifier I have written. Keyword, identifier, literal, operator, and punctuator. Okay. So these are the thing which we have for tokens. I think I didn't miss anything. Okay. So this one you should write it first. Okay. So they will understand. After the definition, you can write something, draw something like this, so that they will understand. You know this. Okay, you know the concept. And then you can, if it is a 2 mark or 3 mark question, just write about what is identifier. Identifier colon, write what it is. Okay,
Okay.
keyword colon, what it is. A literal colon, what it is. And then give some example for each.
Okay.
Okay, that is very, very important. You have to write the example. So this question, write about what is a token and understand it. And you can also talk about what is a variable. Okay, variable is the important question. If I am a teacher, if I am taking the question, I'll definitely take all these questions.
Okay.
Okay, variable and its example. What is the different components of variable? Like we have discussed, no ID, type, and value. Or if you can talk about what is a variable and how you can assign a variable, multiple variable assignments in a single line. Okay, and then they may give some examples and ask you what are the valid variables and what are the not are the not are correct variables.
Okay.
Okay, and you should try this as well. Do you want to try here? If you have time, you can try here. This is a question which I want to ask. Okay, write the program to ask the user, or write the program to get the name and age of the user. Can you try in front of me? It will be great. I'll be happy if you um, print the message that the print the welcome message to the user.
Okay. First we
Do
end
you want
of.
to? Do you
Okay.
have a collab? Can you try? You can share the screen and try if you have if you are using laptop.
I'm using iPad right now. I'll create it right now and then send it to you.
Yeah, yeah. You can send it in the chat. If you have a chat access, you can send.
Okay.
You can type and send it to me. I'll wait.
Yeah. Okay.
This is the.
Should I screenshot it or like should I share it with
Anything you can screen share. I'm
okay.
stopping my screen. Yeah.
Can you see?
Yeah, yeah, I can see your screen. Okay. Okay, fine. You have tried good. Name, age, you have received the name and the age. But in the print statement, you should display the name and age, right? Because what is the purpose of we are getting the name and the age? You just printed welcome.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So good try. You have exactly converted the age as a number and you're getting it. So welcome and then put a comma. You have to enter
And
name. Yeah. Just type name.
name.
Yeah. Name is the variable. So you can and just type comma. If you wanted to print the age, you can also type comma and type age, comma and age. Close the parenthesis. You can execute it. Very good try. So here, yeah, you can give the name. Very good. Okay, so it is printing your welcome, your name, and the age. If you wanted to add something, if you want to add like welcome the age and then welcome the name, and then if you want to print like welcome old, this much years old or something, this much yearing or something, you can also add that in the double quotes.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, very good. Now I'm sharing my screen. Okay, can you find the error in the following code? This is the first error, first code. Code
Uh,
snippet. This is a simple code snippet. Yeah.
okay. The temp is not in parentheses.
Yes, very good. Then
And okay. Should I go to? Is that okay?
yes, you can try.
And the it's a it's a it's a keyword. So
Very good. So what should be there instead?
s comma b
Very good. Okay.
print x. There should be a that double quote after x
Double quote after X. Yes.
because
Or I want to print something like this. Okay, that is why I have given here. I want to print something like X is equal to the value of the X. If it is like if the value holds X is equal to 5, then I have to print something like this. That's why I
okay.
have given here the variable name.
I feel like the quotes should be after the second x.
If it is after the second X, then
It'll be okay.
okay,
Then
you're
leave it
telling
in.
like, are you telling something like this or telling something like this?
I'm saying that okay. It should be double quote x double quote equals x.
Double quote X, double quote equals X.
Yeah.
Here it will show error, right? If you are printing something like this, equals x, it will throw you error.
Mm.
Why? Because in the print statement, whatever you print something, whatever you are telling something inside a double quote, this will be accepted. But anything after the double quotes, you should start with the comma. Okay, here the problem is this is correct. Okay, is equal to till this it's correct, and after this there should be a comma so
Oh,
that it will differentiate that this is a something you have to print it, and here you have told right comma. The same comma should be here.
oh, okay. I kind of
Yeah,
forgot.
yeah, yeah. You have guessed it. So far you have guessed it very good, but here you have missed like each and every line. You should become a Python interpreter. Okay. Each and every line you should see here, the P is in
Oh
capital.
yeah. Okay. Oh,
Okay.
okay. Wow.
So the one you found is correct. It is in not in a parenthesis. Yes, it's correct. But here P is also capital. That one. The second
Okay.
one I kept some full stop here. It's not allowed.
Oh, oh, okay.
Okay.
I didn't see the. Okay, got it.
Okay, it's a decimal point. In this term, it is a decimal point. Either I should go with something like 12.0 or else I should leave it as such.
Okay.
Okay, and the next guess you have clearly noticed that, but this one, capital P.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Okay, so each and every line, whenever they are giving you, sometimes we will feel like the entire code is correct. Why they are asking for the debugging? There might be one capital letter P will be there. We may miss it. Okay, and sometimes what they will do is in when I am like when I was doing my thing, they will do like this. Okay, I feel like okay, both are same, right? Why it's a different? Because it's a temp here. They have declared it temp, but here they have mentioned only temp. It's a
Okay, got
wrong,
it.
like because only if it is defined, your variable should be defined and declared, initialized, then only you can use it.
Okay, got it.
Okay, so this kind of question you may get it because they may expect you to solve this.
Got it.
Okay, just try to be ready. You're almost okay. You can easily predict it, but you should also see even more little more careful. You should see that. Okay, let me just go with the next one. One more. Shall I give you one more?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I will go with this. I think I'm just thinking. I want to do with okay. X comma y is equal to 7 comma 2. Now x comma y comma x equal to x plus 1 comma y plus 3 comma x plus 10 x comma y. Yeah, I'm done. You just look into this and let me know.
Am I supposed to give the output or the
Yes,
thing?
you have to give the output. You have
Okay,
to guess the output.
okay, one second. There are two values of x, so I'm a bit confused.
Okay. Okay. Shall I explain?
Yeah, okay, sure. I got the answer for the x, y, and another x, but how am I supposed to put it in the as an output when it's only asking x and y?
Yeah, it's okay. So I'll tell you. So here, you have to just they're asking you x and y. If it is an output, you have to tell the two numbers. What is the value of final x and what is the value of final y?
Okay.
Okay, so you have to say like the output for x is this and y is this. That is what what output you got? Can you just tell me?
I got 8, 5, and 17.
Okay. The final value is 17 for x. Okay, so you have to go
Okay,
with
okay.
17 and 5. Very
17,
good.
okay. So, okay.
Okay. So the final value it holds is what 17. I'll just show you in the evaluation. I hope you understood the logic. If you want me to explain the
Yeah, I
logic, I can
understood the
also.
logic, but it took me like a bit of time to understand.
Yeah. No problem. It's a initial level, right? So you can see the final stage of x will be by 17. Like the latest value will be updated in 17
Okay,
as 17. I'll just tell you like what happens in the first itself. You are assigning the value for x is equal to okay. So value of x you are just assigning it to 7 and the value for y you are assigning as 2. Okay, in the next line, what it will do is what? First one, it will execute x plus 1. Okay,
okay,
so it will first evaluate x plus 1. What is x plus 1 is what your 7 plus 1, which is 8. X is equal to 8 will be 8. X will hold the value 8. And
okay,
then y plus 3, right? The value of y is 2. 2 plus 3, which is 5. So the value of the next y will be 5, and then
okay,
you are again adding, here you are adding x plus 10. This is the latest one which will be updated. So 7 plus 10 is equal to 17.
okay,
Okay, so the exact thing is your 8 value of 8, first x value of 8 will, it will be 8, but again it is updated.
okay,
Okay, here you should be very careful because your x y, because they have since asked x comma y initially, you may get confused. That is just to make you confuse.
okay, got it,
Okay, it won't give much change in your data.
got it.
You may think x is 8, but since because x appeared twice, the leftmost x value is 8, but later the x value is updated to 17 because here you have added, right?
Yeah,
So your value will be updated to that. So now the value will be, no, here the value will be 8, but when you are executing this x plus, okay, it will become 17.
got it.
Okay, so 17 and 5, the recent value plus this 5 will be answered. But it's good you have, you got 8, 17, and 5. Okay, always the confusion comes here. Like that is why I wanted to give this code. There's multiple
Okay,
assignments, we usually end
okay,
with lot of confusions.
okay.
Okay, good. I will share some more questions to try. You just try so that you will have some understanding of how to get it.
Yeah, sure. I will.
Okay, I'll send it in the chat or shall I share it here?
Anything's fine.
Okay, fine. So you can, okay, two question you can just try. Area of a circle, okay, with the radius. Whatever I am sharing here, you have to get the input from the user. You should not
Okay,
assign the variable as a constant.
got it.
Okay, the area of circle when the radius of the given circle is given by the user. This one you are going to try. Okay, and just try two questions, two thing. You will get some understanding of how to do it. And then, okay, you can, I think you have already calculated the simple interest.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Okay, then you can get the number from the user. Okay, get the number from the user, read the number from the user and print n square. Okay, it's not 2. I don't know where to get the square, n square, which means that if you are getting 2 as the number from the user, then it should print n square, that is 2 power 2, 2 power 3, and 2 power 4.
Remember? Okay.
Okay, for example, if the user is entering 3, okay, you should get the input from the user is entering 3, then you should try 3 star 3, which is equal to 9. Okay, this is 3 square, 3 star 3 star 3, and then 3 star 3 star 3 star 3.
Okay, got you.
Okay, this one you try. This two questions you can write the code and you can either send it to me or else you can share this collab. Like it's just simply click share. You can see. to whom you wanted to share it. Okay, or else you can copy the link and send it to me.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah. Any other questions? Are you prepared?
Yeah, I'm prepared.
Very good. All the best. Tomorrow is your exam, right?
Yeah, it
Okay,
is.
all the best. Any other questions in between? Like you don't hesitate to ask me. We have still another 12 hours go to more to go. So you can just ask me if you have any
Okay.
questions.
Yeah, sure, I will. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.